Hello, everybody. So, I was at my local thrift store and I found a composition notebook. And the composition notebook had 2 pages that were written in, and it was completely blank. So, if you're looking for inexpensive paper for your children or schooling or your projects, check out your local Goodwill. But, anyways, so the treasure I found was this little journal entry, and it was from 2009. My camera's backwards, I can't read it. So this has a lot of personal information. I'm not going to read a lot of it. I'm going to give you some highlights of it. Okay, so 2 nights ago I spent a little time on the internet trying for the millionth time to get a lead on my biological father. On classmates.com, I found Debbie Blank. Knowing that Bobby had a sister named Debbie, I sent an email explaining that if she had a brother named Bobby Blank and had a dad named blank blank blank, I was looking for him. Okay? So Debbie was apparently her aunt. So I'm skipping around because a lot of it is very detailed information. She said that I had quite a lot of information, and since she did not believe in coincidences, she would have Bobby call me as soon as possible. Okay, and she's talking about more names of relatives, and she told me that Bobby had 3 other children and 2 grandchildren. She explained to me that Bobby was out on the road. He's a truck driver, and she said she'd have him give me a call. I spent the next few hours in agony. I knew I drove Johnny crazy. What if Bobby didn't call? What if he denied me? What if he didn't like me? I paced, I cried, I shook, I jumped every time the phone rang. By the time the phone rang and the caller ID showed Atlanta, Georgia, I was crazy. Hearing Bobby's voice was something I'd waited my whole life to hear. I gave him all the information I'd given Debbie, and he said, "Yep, I'm your dad, all right." It floored me. He said he'd never deny me. What? I prepared myself for heartbreak, and he accepted me just like that. Bobby went on to tell me that blank wasn't his real dad, just his stepdad, and he'd searched and found his real father, but he'd been outright rejected and denied. He said that he couldn't do that. We talked for several hours. He told me he'd been a wild kid and that he'd been born poor white trash and had acted like it too. So that's where it ends. So whatever happened after that, I don't know. But I thought it was such a beautiful story. I am adopted, and my oldest child is adopted. So adoption is something that is near and dear to my heart. So while I don't know who wrote this, I don't know anything more than what this says, I'm putting it in my journal because I think it's so wonderful that she's documented this moment in her life, and that by saving it, we can share this story with future generations, and maybe they'll get something out of it. So anyway, when you are out looking, look for these treasures because they're out there. Have a great day. Bye.